Hey everyone, you might have seen some blog posts or news articles where they offer the audio version of that article. Instead of reading the article, you can just play it and listen to it while you're doing something else. Now this is NPR's Planet Money, so this is a podcast, so it's a little bit different. But what if we can add something like this to our own blogs, where you can have an audio version of it? Well, we can do that with the Microsoft Cognitive Services speech service. Now, the speech service has a few different services within it. It has a speech to text, a text to speech, and then translation into it. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to use the text to speech part to take in text and then output speech to it and output the audio version of it. All right, but the first thing we have to do is create that Azure Resource. So we can go and search for speech, and we'll just do speech here. We do the usual stuff, add resource group, select the region, and I can give it a name. So I do blog speech. There we go. And then a pricing tier. They have a free version, but I don't think it. I think I'm already using that in another service. So I'll review and create, and this should take maybe just a few seconds to deploy here. Yep, not too long at all. I guess I'll go to my resource here, and I'll leave it right there for now. And next, I'll go to Visual Studio. I already have a .NET 6 console project created, and just for keep things simple, I have a blog post that I did already in here, and this goes over Q&A maker. For our speech services, we need to add a Nuget package. That's going to be Microsoft.cognitive-services.speech. There we go. We'll download that. Alright, that's installed. Now we can start to use it. So it's going to be a couple of things we need to do first. So first we need to set a config. And to do that, we use speech config. And we'll bring in that using statement. And from there, we do from subscription. And we can add in our subscription token or our API token, and then our region. And we can get these in our portal. So go down to keys and endpoint. So I'll copy this key, put it as the first parameter, and then the region is going to be East US. So I'll just copy that as well and put that in there. It's a little bit bigger. Alright, so with that, we can create a new synthesizer using the using statement, using var synthesizer, and a new speech synthesizer, and we'll pass in the config. And from there, use the synthesizer, and actually we await it first. So it's synthesizer dot speak text async, and then whatever text is in here is going to speak. So we can say something, hello YouTube, and if we run it, we should be able to hear that.
Hello YouTube.
Right, cool. And so what we eventually want to do is to output Markdown. However, there's a bit of an issue with that. So if we put some random Markdown in here, so we do a hashtag for a header, and then this is emphasized with the asterisks on it. And if we do that, let's see what happens.
Hashtag header. This is emphasized.
So it didn't do it with the emphasize, but the header, it just spoke out the actual hashtag, which is what we don't want to do. So instead, we need to parse our Markdown. And to do that, I'm going to use a package called markdig, which is going to help us parse our Markdown. So we go back to Nuget, browse for markdig. I'll get the first one here. Alright, so we have that. And what we can do is I'll take this text and I'll say Markdown text equals that, and then do var text. So it's going to be Markdown. We bring in this using statement, and then instead of to HTML, we're going to do to plain text. And now we'll output this, and that should be better.
Header. This is emphasized.
There we go. So it disregarded the actual hashtag name. And with that, we can bring in our file here and read that. So instead of markdown text, I'm going to do file.read all text. And I'm just going to pass in the name of this file here. So introduction to Q&A maker.md. And then instead of actually speaking it, we're going to do a little bit something extra here to put to a WAV file. And to do that, we need an audio config. So audio config, bring that in, and then from WAV file output, because we want to output the WAV file, and I'll just give it the path to output to, so I'll just put output.wave. Then instead of when we create our synthesizer up here, we can do it again, and then we can pass in a second parameter as the audio config. And now we still use the speak text async, and we'll see how that goes. And let's take a look at that. Can output 15 megabytes.
Suppose you have a FAQ page that has a lot of data and want to use that as a first line of customer service support for a chatbot on your main page. How can you integrate this with minimal effort? Enter Microsoft Q&A Maker. What is Microsoft Q&A Maker?
All right.
From the official docs, it states that.
So we got our WAV file here, and we can convert those to MP3, and then we just embed that onto our blog site. And for each blog that we put on there, we can run this and get the speech text from it. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this shows at least one cool thing that you can do with Microsoft speech services. And I'll see y'all next time.